This is my assessment of the teams in the National Hockey League Eastern Conference. To begin with, bad teams don't always stay bad, and good teams don't always stay good. I think one of the most pleasant surprises you're going to see this year in the Eastern Conference of the NHL is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. To begin with, when Kirk Muller first took over as the Hurricanes head coach, he did not have a training camp in his first year. So he took over mid-season for Paul Maurice. He did not have a training camp in his second season due to the NHL lockout. And this year, he did have a training camp. Now, if you look at the Hurricanes' record so far, they have a victory over the Philadelphia Flyers. They have a victory over the Washington Capitals, both division rivals. They lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins are a good team. And their 2 overtime losses, which means they actually tied, but then lost in overtime and got that extra point, were the really good clubs, Detroit and Los Angeles. I think the Hurricanes are going to surprise a lot of people this year, and they will make the playoffs. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will be its usual good team. They will probably win the Eastern Conference. But they are not as good as their fans say they are. You see, there's a lot of other good teams in the Eastern Conference, too, that could easily knock the Penguins out come playoff time. The Bruins, the Red Wings, even the Hurricanes. Because Pittsburgh might own Carolina and Pittsburgh. But Carolina owns Pittsburgh and Carolina. Another team that is on an upswing is the New York Islanders. They quite possibly could be the best team in the Eastern Conference that plays in New York this year. The Islanders were bad for a long time. There's 2 reasons why they were bad. Darcy Regier and Mike Milbury. It took 10 years, 10, for Garth Snow to dig them out of that hole. And now I think they are reaping the benefits of the changes that Garth Snow has made and the draft picks that they've accumulated. Don't blame Garth Snow for the Islanders' woes in years past. Snow is doing a good job. It was the 2 guys before him that buried the team. Washington, I think, will have a tough year. First of all, they lost some key players, and they didn't really gain any back in return. Second of all, they have a coach that is relatively new to coaching. Yeah, he's been an assistant for a while, but he's still relatively new to coaching. It's going to take a while before they really adapt to his system. And face it, the Capitals don't have great goaltending. As Ovechkin goes, so go the Caps. The Columbus Blue Jackets are going to be a better team. I don't think Sergei Bobrovsky will be quite as good as he was last year, but he will be a decent goaltender. I think that the Blue Jackets won't really start reaping the benefits of winning a lot of games until Nathan Horton becomes healthy and joins the team. And I believe that's in December. So they might be trying to catch up. Will they make the playoffs? They might. But then again, they might not. The New York Rangers have problems. First of all, they're starting the road, or I should say on the road, with 9 straight games. They're trying to learn the new system of a new coach. And they're getting hammered pretty bad. I'm talking about in the score, not after the game. But they're going to struggle a little bit, and they're also going to be trying to catch up from behind. The New Jersey Devils are just a bad team. They will find out very quickly that Corey Schneider is not that great of a goaltender. Toronto Maple Leafs are on an upswing. And I can name one reason why they are on that upswing. James Van Riemsdyk. See, I got the thumbs up here? That was a good trade. And Toronto is going to win a lot of games this year. They have a new GM, and this guy knows what he's doing. So I expect the Maple Leafs to be a good team for the next 10 years or so. The Detroit Red Wings will not miss a beat. They will win that division. Detroit is a good club. They will continue to be a good club and could possibly be the representative in the Stanley Cup Finals from the Eastern Conference this year. The Montreal Canadiens are not as good as they were last year. Carey Price is having trouble with the adjustment to the new sizing on the pads and some of the other goalie equipment. Peter Budaj was never really that good to begin with. So the Canadiens will struggle a little bit. They might make the playoffs. They might not. The Ottawa Senators. Well, that's kind of a hard team to judge, but they lost Daniel Alfredsson. But then people will say, well, they're going to be good. They got Bobby Ryan. But you know something? You know who's going to be one of the NHL's top players this year? Jakob Silfverberg, the guy they gave up to get Ryan. Already his numbers are better than Ryan's. That trade was a steal for Anaheim. And I think it's going to take a little while for the Senators to recover. The Boston Bruins, they will be good as usual. They lost Jaromir Jagr, but look who they got in return from Pittsburgh. That was a gift. The Bruins will be right about where they were last year. There is one team that can stop them. Detroit. Either Detroit or Boston will be the Stanley Cup Finals representative. Buffalo Sabres are clearly the worst team in the NHL. They made a mistake by firing their coach. Their mistake is Dallas's gain. The Sabres are not only going to be bad, but they will be bad for a while. Remember I was talking about the Islanders a few minutes ago? And I said one of the problems was they were buried by one of their former GMs, Darcy Regier. Regier is now the Sabres general manager. And Buffalo is going to get buried in the standings. Which brings me to one final team. This team is getting off to a really bad start. But they will recover. That's the Philadelphia Flyers. The Philadelphia Flyers made some mistakes by trading away Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, and the guys they picked up are good, but they don't make the other teams pay. Okay, Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, they made the other teams pay for their mistakes. That is the reason the Flyers made the finals in 2010. But they will recover. I think the new coach is a good one. Philadelphia will be playing catch-up. Will they have a good season? Well, based on what they do at the end of the season, yes. But will they make the playoffs? I think they'll just barely fall short. So there you have it. My assessment for the NHL teams in the Eastern Conference. See ya.